Hey, how's it going? Before I get to the makings of a prototype, I want to talk about this, which is my third scissors mat. I did it in the same fashion as my prototype one, where I put masking tape around all the edges and then used acrylic paint markers from Artistro to color in all that tape, and then apply the foam. And the only difference is for this one is I didn't put cork board on it. Oh, and here's a little tip: if you plan to do something like this and use adhesive backed cork board, is to take some masking tape. I'm gonna show you right now. Take some masking tape about the length of your stuff here, and do this to it and bring it up. And I've already done it with this one and the other mat. And just go like this to pick up all the little residual pieces, loose cork dust or whatever, cork pieces. I'm still kind of picking up some of that stuff there. To do that, and that way you won't have a mat filled with, like I did when I did the scissor mats. I'm like, what is this stuff on here? And it was stuff from the cork board, the debris that was left over. So maybe every once in a while I probably need to do that. So I did that. On the bottom of this one, I put very bright yellow craft foam, and all of the foam that I used for all three colors came from another pack of craft foam. It doesn't measure quite 6 by 9. It's a little bit smaller, like 5.5 by 8.5 or something like that. I can't remember the exact dimensions, but I bought that bundle back in 2009 from a brick and mortar Walmart store. It's a Walmart, it even says Walmart on the little thingy and on the little flyer. And then the reason I used this bright yellow is because the first sheet facing the outside was this bright yellow. And I think there were 3 sheets of the yellow. It was a 40 sheet pack. Not all of the colors came in groups of 3. Like black was in 3, white in 3, yellow in 3, and I can't remember what the other. There were a couple of more. There were a couple more colors that came in 3s, but most of them came in 2s, like sets of 2. So with this one, there were discolorations on the first yellow sheet, and I don't know what they were. They were just like these little brown specks in there. I was thinking, did those used to be bugs by any chance that were kind of trapped in the shrink wrap? I have no idea. There were no remains of the bugs in the wrapping at all, so I don't know what it was that was like. But I thought, I'm never going to use that just because of those discolorations. I'm never going to use it for something that I can see all the time, you know. So I thought, oh, I can use it for the underside, because craft foam is another kind of material that is non-slip on surfaces, so, and soft and quiet. So I did this one, and this is not meant to sit like this on my mat, but I did make it for my mat. And originally I made it for over here, but it would only be like that, and it kind of limits my crafting area, crafting space. So I decided to put it here, back here, and that you can barely see that's there, but it still works because I can put my scissors here and it doesn't make a lot of noise. So that's a bonus. So I don't think I'm going to need scissors today. And the cardboard comes from we're going to show you on the, this is Velcroed together. I decided to Velcro it, and I put this piece, I wanted this piece to overlap, and I did put like a little piece of paper here because there's not a whole lot, as you can see, these are sticky back, but there's not a whole lot of stickiness left because I bought this in 2009, this package, and yeah, there's not a whole lot of, but I could just leave it off if I wanted to. I'll leave that out of the way. But this is Velcroed. And so the cardboard I used is by Nestle Coffee Mate. A box that contained 4 slightly smaller boxes, and those boxes contain Coffee Mate singles, 50 per box, and then 4 boxes put into a cardboard, regular cardboard style box. And the sides, 2 of the sides have these little perforations, or these little tabs. It's perforated all the way around, and then when you pull it apart, you have these little tabs. And I thought, oh, that is cool. And I wanted to make a scissors mat for my craft mat. And this fits perfectly over here. Well, not perfectly, but you know, it fits over here next to the camera stand, right flush against the camera stand. And these kind of just like kind of hook in because we have like, there's like an A-shaped frame on there with metal jobbies that go like that. And these fit in between those, so it's not one solid piece down there. And I thought, oh, that's perfect. But then I realized that it's going to cut back on my crafting space. So now I keep it up here and out of the way. So I decided to do the Velcro thing there with that. And I have to be careful here. And this also fits perfectly here. Ta-da! So I wanted to show that. I did talk about it in the swatching video, but I took it out when I was in editing because I was wasting so much time. Okay, so now I want to talk about the makings of a prototype. And this particular prototype comes from Frisky's 32 can box. I have 2 of these. I have the seafood one and I have the poultry one. This one I started putting together. I was just getting, like, I was sitting down getting ready to take some boxes apart because there was a storm coming, and I'm not really crazy about thunderstorms, and taking apart boxes kind of calms down my anxieties, which I don't know what to say about that, but it works. So I was like, oh, well, that is great. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm battling the anxiety that thunderstorms create, and I'm reducing the amount of cardboard boxes in my humble abode. So that's always good. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start with these. So what I've been doing with these normally is I cut them down, and I keep this, and I keep this one, and I keep all the big side walls, and then these flaps here I usually just get rid of. But I was just kind of messing around with the seafood box, and I went something like this, you know, and I did this to make a triangle of sorts, like that. And I was like, I think I can like, when I put it together like that, right, I know there's a way to do this, to fold it up. Oh yeah, I do it like that, to set it aside. Easier storage that way. So I was kind of messing around with this, and I did it like that. And I decided to take the outer flap, which you can't really see right there, of course, the outer flap. So I'll show you with the purple one is the poultry one. I decided instead of keeping that on the outside, I want this to be on the inside. So this one, I'm not gonna, don't mess with that now. And then these flaps, which are normally inside flaps, see how they're white? I want them on the outside, right? And they would be at an angle because I'm going with like a tote, like a tool tote bag, a tool carrying toolbox, kind of a tote bag, or what I was seeing in my head was one of those old doctor's totes, doctor's bags, you know, and it took off from there. Like, all my thinking was like, oh, that would be great. I think I can really do that. So that's what I did here. I'm going to show you on this side, because this is the first side I worked on. The inside, as you can kind of see it there, and then this comes together, and I taped it all together, and I might have even, I think I glued it in place, so this will never come apart, even if the tape comes off. And then these flaps right here, is it this one? Okay, yeah, these I ended up, first of all, totally taking off because I thought, well, maybe I don't need it. And then I realized I need those because I want this to come together, and I don't want a whole lot of space. I don't want that. There would be a glaring hole here, you know, if I took these off completely like that. There would be that much space, and I didn't want those holes to be visible. Hey! Oh, wait, I'm losing my mind here. Okay. So then also, I'll show you the inside in a minute and talk about those trays in there. So I did that, and when I did this side and took them off, I did eventually take them off, and I thought that was after I turned it around. I put this together up here, and these, I thought, you know, I just really need to round the edges here. They're not the same cut, as you can see. This one's a little bit wider than this one is, but I need them to be rounded so that they can slip in more easily, and they will eventually be covered, of course. I will cover the whole thing first with masking tape, and then the inside I will probably paint. I was going to go with black for the inside, and I know it should be maybe a lighter color to make it look like there's more room in there, but I already know how much room is in there, so that's neither here nor there for me. So I'm going to go with a dark color, black, or maybe dark blue or something like that. I'm going with black. That's in my head right now. So we have that. Okay, so then I just have to make sure. Originally, I was going to say I just have to make sure that these flaps go in together. And originally, or one of the thoughts in my head was to connect these two pieces with ribbon so that, and it would be long enough that I would bring it out like that completely so that I could reach in there to get what I need. And then I thought, no, I think that might be more annoying than the flaps here, because I just have to just tuck it in like that and to close it. Also, I am planning to the flaps here, these little things right here, those are readily available when I pick up the box at the store. There is also, I think it's on this side, there are two little thumb jobbies that you press in and then you can pick it up better like this. But for me, that would not work for me, because when I have arthritis here in my hand, so when I pick up something like this, I get this shooting pain here occasionally, and that would not be good at all for me. So I'm much thankful that Purina has this availability here, that I can just pick it up. And I don't have, like, it's not like this at the store. This, as you can see, I bent it, so this would be down like that. On here, we have right now that these are together. So this is what we have here to pick it up, and this is much better for me to pick it up like that. But the way I finagled it, just a minute. The way I manipulated this, I bent it down this way and bent that down this way, so that these would come together at the bottom, kind of folding together. And it's nice, it's nice like that. So this will be covered probably with fabric tape, and maybe I might take some of these beauty wedges and put them between the fabric and, well, obviously not like that. I'll probably cut it down like this part here, between the fabric and the cardboard, so that there's more of a cushion there. So that's a thought going through my little brain here. And then this part is, on the box there are 2 perforated lines on each side, so this side and on this side, and I cut on the inner perforated line on both sides, and I went all the way down, because it does go all the way down, to create a door here. And I was like, oh, that is cool. So I don't always have to open this up completely out like this to look in. I can, I can keep this closed. Maybe I just need something here on this tray. This tray pulls out, intentionally pulls out. And there are trays on this side. There's a tray on this side and a tray on this side. They are slightly different sizes, and that's mostly because the first one I did was this one, and it's a little bit smaller, and it's each of these trays lengthwise do not go, there are not wall to wall here. There's a little bit of a gap, like 1/8 to 1/4 inch. This one's a little bit wider. It looks like maybe 1/2 inch of space here, but I did, and this is a little bit wider. These are Velcro. I need to put these somewhere because I'm losing them. Let me see. I'm losing more and more. Like, where are they going? Like, that's just crazy. So I have these 3 trays that I worked on earlier in the week, and then I got a notice about the apartment going to be inspected. That happened yesterday, and that put the kibosh on all crafting at all, because I had to do some major cleaning. So these I did, made some trays. I just want one wall here, and that's for the outer part. And then what that serves as walls for this tray. So I don't have to create walls for these trays, for this center tray. And then these will be Velcroed down. So I'll probably do it. How do I do it like that? I have to remember that. Oh, it sticks out longer. That's interesting. This one is longer than this one. But, no? I thought it was longer. Oh yeah, it's a little bit longer. It's about 1/8, maybe a little more than 1/8 of an inch longer. But that's okay. What? Do I have? Oh, the tape is coming up. So I want to put Mod Podge on these, and I want to do that today. So let's do that right now, and I will stop talking about my the little flap. I'm also thinking about how to join this together right here. Either I got a few things going on in my head, like maybe cam snap, or stop making noise. Cam snap, or a ribbon, or Velcro, or I can't think of anything else. Can you think of a binder clip? I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe the cam snap might be good for that. Yeah, I'll see how that goes, because I put a little hole there. That top part there is perforated, and I just widened that little hole there a little bit more, made it a little bigger, and I was thinking maybe put some ribbon in there. But now I could probably do ribbon or something like that, like a short piece of ribbon, and cam snap it that way. I don't know, that's up in the air, and who knows if I'll even there will be a closure. Okay, I'm going to use my little beauty wedges here. Those are the same ones I used for, what did I do? What did I paint with these? What did I paint with these? I used Mod Podge. Okay, and so that's more for soaking the wedges. I think I might only have to use one, unless, did I test the Artistro acrylic paints? These cardboard pieces are all covered with masking tape, and then I use the Artistro acrylic markers to paint all these. I don't know if I tested them with Mod Podge or not, and I guess we're gonna find out then, because I don't know. Ooh, that is a lot. And I do have paper towels over here if I need them. And let's get started. And maybe I'll think of other things while I'm doing. I'm just gonna probably do these two in real time, and I know you have seen me do this before, right? You've seen it. Okay, great. It's not bleeding. Although that green one might. I don't know. Sometimes the green one doesn't. Also, I need to, when I do this, I tend to forget. Did I go over here? A good way to tell is that it adds a bit of shine to the, just a bit of shine to the surface. So if it's dry, Tammy, and there is, talking to myself, I know, there is a shine, that means you covered it. And then this part here. Also, I'm planning to put Velcro on the side trays, but not this one. And I don't know if I showed you the underside of that yet. This is like my 4th video of trying to get this project done. And now that I'm painting it, I can't do any more. I'm just going to have to remove my mistakes or something. I don't know. Mistakes? Nobody makes mistakes. I know I'm touching the wet part there. It's kind of hard to hold it with. I guess I don't consider those things right away. Like, how are you going to hold it? You're going to wait for it to dry? I'm going to want to do this. I don't want to get, glaring fingerprints on here, which is what could happen if I'm touching it. Did I? Did I cover it? You can let me know in the comments. You missed a glaring spot or something. I'll see it, and I'll put a caption in editing if I see something that I just can't see right now. It really depends on how. I guess I'm doing that first. How I see it, and how you see it can sometimes be two different viewpoints. literal viewpoints here. Not opinion. But actual viewing. There's no ASMR for this. Like, trying to color that little gap there. That was interesting because the Artistro marker has, it is a 1mm tip. I wish it was maybe 0.7, I guess. Also, I discovered when I had to link the 72 color Artistro acrylic marker set, it's no longer on Amazon. So I don't know what happened to it. I have no idea what happened to it. But the 48, so I think I linked the 48 color set, and I think I put a message near that link saying the 72 set's no longer available or is out of stock or something like that. So I'll have to see. I can't remember if it was an oops page where it's no longer visible at all or will ever be again. I have no idea. Maybe the vendor committed a faux pas or something, and who knows. Maybe the vendor moved or retired. I have no idea. I have no idea how stuff like that works. I just know that it's not available. But I will go in from time to time to see. Maybe it came back. Maybe it has a different vendor or something like that that handles those things. I'm making a mess of this. I'm trying not to clump because that can look a bit unsightly even on a flat surface here. And is it matte here on this side? No, it's not. I'm pretty sure I got that. Oh, this looks a little matte-ish. That could be me. I don't know. I'm getting this on my mat. Speaking of mat. That didn't work at all. Okay, now this one has foam on the bottom. And this also, I don't know if you can tell, but the edges are kind of browned, but that's because this is because I bought this package of craft foam in 2009, so it's a little bit old. And it's surprisingly not as browned or yellowed or old looking on the sides there as I thought it could be. So I'm still gonna eventually do that. Have to do this side. That is definitely rough. So another way to tell, other than it's sticky, is that if it hasn't been sealed, it's rough. I know I have gluey fingers. but that has not been done. So I want to be careful because I just did that one. So okay, I have to wait. I have to do the side, let that dry. Again, I know I'm moving that over, but I have to let this sit. And now I need to do the underside here. I see that got, but that's okay because what am I going to see that? No. Some green, did some green come off? Okay, if it did, because that looks like it's slightly discolored. Put it in the jar. I have a jar here. A jar of water to let that soak. I know. A minute, grabbing a paper towel there. Okay. We're going to do, which one did I do first? I did this one first. Okay, that's a lot easier. But yes, the green is coming off that. So that's something to note. That I couldn't get with the blue nib because a 1.0 millimeter is very thick actually for these tiny nooks and crannies. Okay, let me check here. So I'm just gonna tuck that in, that one part that I'm the one who would have to look at it and say, what is that white spot amongst all this blue, you know? You know how it is. If you work on crafts and stuff, then you know how it is. If there's even one itty bitty and it's glaring to you, you know, one glaring spot there that wasn't fixed. Okay, this one is, I did a much better job of putting that together. When I did put these together, I adapted or got a procedure, a tip from somebody I subscribe to. I'm going to see if I can show you. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Okay, so say I want to make a tray out of this. Okay, I need to... I know I'm not using a ruler. Okay, say I have this. This is the little side wall. I would probably cut this off. I'm not going to do that right now. And this is the tray. And instead of putting it together like this, I want there to be a little bit of a floor for this from this. So with this one, I subscribe to a channel called It's Shogi studio, and the guy's from Japan, and he works with cardboard, and he will show you videos on how to make boxes, smaller cardboard boxes from bigger cardboard boxes. And this is one of the techniques that he uses that I latched onto. I'm like, oh, I can definitely do that. So I'll put a link to his channel, and you can watch some of his videos. So I want to do a little tiny, maybe not so tiny. I just want to go like this on the edge and not go. Oh yeah, I went in. I went too far there, but I can't even see it. What I want to do is I want to take this first layer off and the corrugation below it, but I don't want to cut all the way through. So you have to kind of be gentle. I can't see it. I can't see it because the lighting is for you, so you can see it, and not so I can see it necessarily. That's kind of, so I can feel, you feel that stuttering, or you hear that stuttering? That's going over those corrugated humps there, the little hills and valleys. See, I can't. And you just do it enough so that it cuts that corrugated cardboard there. I'm cutting a new line. I can feel it. I have to turn it this way. And also, this guy has a flat chisel of some sort. I thought, oh man, I really want to get that. So when you have it, I don't think I have it all the way through, then you can use your cutter blade or your that little chisel thing. It looks like a very long flathead screwdriver, but it's supposed to all come up. And he just kind of shoves it in there so that it all comes up, and it leaves a little floor behind. I can see where I went where I went wrong there, but you get the idea, right? So there's a little floor here, and this would fit right in there. And then I would put glue here on the floor, and then a little bit on the side here as well, and then glue them together. And that's how I made this one and this one, and that's how I put the dividers, the side walls, outside walls here. And for this one, this is 2 pieces of cardboard. It is not one cardboard one piece with a slit down the middle. I think it's 2 pieces of cardboard, and so I had to create a little bit of that floor for this one and one for this one, and then put this in and glue it all down. And then to make sure it was all completely secure, I did run a piece of tape over it here. But I think I covered this whole thing is covered in masking tape, not just, below the parts of the what not just the parts around the edge like I did with the scissor mat. So we have that. So that's how I did it. And now I know I spent way too much time. It's Shogi Studio. Man, he does a great job. He does little mitering, and he makes these beautiful boxes that he shows us. And yeah, so I'll give a link to his channel. He has some very good techniques, and I picked up one of his techniques, and I thank you, man, for that technique, because it has definitely come in handy. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I'll keep you updated on the box, on the tool tote bag. Maybe we'll call it a tool tote bag. Man, that's that's a mouthful. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Yeah, I'll keep you updated on it. I definitely will. But I have to put it on the back burner for a little bit because first I have to finish setting up my course. I think all that's left is the proofreading, which is a hassle, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Always proofread what you do. That's for my students, so and for anybody else who writes. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a creative day. Bye.